Woo! Surf is big today. It's amazing, the power of the ocean. So, I am, as you can see, right by the water. And I wanted to talk about letting your deep down be your way of life. So what do I mean when I say that? You know, when you're in conversation with somebody, I've been in conversation with people, and I've had people talking to me about their woes and having a hard time, and life is just, in a way, they feel like life is having their way with them. But in that conversation, they'll say, well, you know, deep down, I know everything's going to be okay. Or deep down, I know that's not a choice I should make. Or deep down, this and this should happen or is going to happen. And what is amazing to me is that we all know, what that deep down is for us. And yet we continue to talk to other people and look outside of ourselves for the answers to whatever it is we're talking about, or asking the universe or asking our friend advice about. It's interesting that we know intuitively, instinctively, in our hearts, in every fiber of our being, what that answer is to us, because deep down is really our soul, our heart speaking to our ego, to our mind. And I keep looking at the ocean because it's super high tide right now, and I have a feeling I might get wet. I'm way up on these rocks, but anyway, maybe I should be listening to my deep down right now that's saying, deep down, you're gonna get wet right now. Yee! But seriously, how many times have you asked advice for friends, or vented, or been on a rant, and you've said those words? Well, you know, deep down, whatever follows that deep down is really your answer. It's really what you're feeling. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to listen to that. You know, I had a revelation this morning after listening to a talk that Kyle Cease gave, where he was talking about deep down. And I really had a revelation that you know, it said deep down, the reason I started teaching again, and the reason I started working out harder and going after the higher ranks in my Kung Fu system and the martial arts system that I am involved in, is because somewhere inside of me, little Christy is still looking for that love and approval and acceptance from a father who's no longer living, who is an addict and an alcoholic, and who, growing up and even in my teenage and 20s, had the feeling that I was never enough, and that if I could do just one more thing, or achieve just one more thing, or progress just a bit higher in what I was doing and finish what I started, then I would be loved more. I would be accepted more. I would be enough. But deep down, I am already enough. I am loved. I am accepted. And I'm fine just the way I am. So now I get to go forward and choose whether or not I continue to live from this place of not enoughness and thinking and feeling that somehow if I get the next rank or do more hours or whatever it is, that I will be loved, then I'll understand, somehow that'll be better for my life. But really, the choice to be made is living from a place of knowingness and living from a place of wholeness and enoughness and going from there. And not beating myself up for having made the choice to get back into teaching and get back into Kung Fu because of that old story that said, well, you're not enough because you didn't finish this thing, or you didn't get this rank. So giving myself the grace in this moment and saying, you know what, that's okay. Now I know, now I'm listening to my deep down, and now is where I get to make that choice from. Now is where I get to make that choice from. So what is your deep down saying? Right now, my deep down is saying, this is the right place for you, right here, right now. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Psychic in the Wild.